Hey guys, Keel Lancer here. Welcome to another Keel Lancer Gaming. Don't forget the bell button, subscribe button to get the notification to my channel. Alright guys, I want to do something different today. I wanted to do like something that I'll probably do every other week, and it's to basically have like a top list of like different like animes that I enjoy, but this is going to be about more so like I want to say animes from the 80s, the late 80s to basically the early 2000s, guys. So the list was 10 animes, but I lowered it down to 5 animes because it drug on too long, so I had to redo the video. So it's going to be 5 animes on this list, and then I'm going to have another list that's going to be 5 animes as well, guys. So it's going to be a part 1, it's going to be a part 2, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Remember, this is all based off my opinions of what I think that was interesting during the time I watched these animes, guys. And these animes mean a lot to me. But for older, for older people, they'll probably understand, like, based off of these animes, like how great they were. But some of you young people never even heard of these animes or even seen any of these animes. So this probably might, shake you guys up to actually try to give these animes a try. So let's dive into it. Okay, the first one we have is Black Cat. A trained Heartnet is known as the Black Cat for his quick reaction to attacks and his title as number 13. As a member of his secret society, Kronos, he is unable to master Gunman, a cold and unfeeling killer, until he meets Saya, a bounty hunter or sweeper. She teaches him the value of human life, and that one should live in order to repent for one's mistakes rather than die because of them. Through her, Train learns to love and care for other people as he too becomes a sweeper and travels with his partner Seven and the mysterious girl Eve. Now, I seen this anime, like, I'm talking about in the beginning of my anime watching career. And this thing really swept me up my feet because of the character design. The character designs were so freaking cool, especially before he becomes pretty much like this traveler and stuff like that after this woman changes his life. I'm not going to tell you too much because I want you guys to check this anime out. But he used to wear this long trench coat. He had this dope behind gun and stuff, and also he was like practically almost like super fast. So seeing that big transformation of character design from that look to this nice sporty looking like tight looking short like jacket like trunks is freaking cool too. Then he has this little cat bell in the middle of his neck, which I wasn't too fond of, but hey, it went along with the color, but it went along with his costume scheme. But he also had this little quirk too, where he preferred milk, almost like a cat. So I thought that was pretty cool. In this anime, you're gonna see high fast action. You're gonna see mystery. You're gonna see him come and collide with his past, which is freaking cool, and you get to learn a little bit more about Black Cat, because even though this showed you the beginning parts of his beginnings, his upbringing and stuff, you still don't know everything there is to know about him. How did he join this group called Kronos? And I just thought, like, learning that background of that group Kronos was just so amazing, guys. You're going to see so many different villains try to take him down because they can't believe he left, and then the main boss of the whole entire anime also tries to kill him. But the crazy thing is that I still to this day, find fascinating is this concept between gun versus sword. And the main boss has a sword and the main character has a gun, and you're just watching them clash back and forth, and that's just like, it's just freaking dope, guys. The other thing is he finds this mentor guy with a hat. He has like a fedora, he have a whole suit. This guy doesn't use guns. He basically uses a suitcase, and the suitcase got traps and everything. Black Cat pretty much lost against him in the beginning. Then as Black Cat goes along, he pretty much teams up with this guy, and he becomes, like, I guess, his partner. Then they come along with this little girl who's pretty much special, and the whole team comes together. But then you got this freaking other sexy chick that pretty much gives them missions and stuff, but also at the same time she pretty much is like fond of the whole entire group that they're in. So they're almost like a family. So I'm pretty sure everybody can relate to an anime like this, guys. This anime is really cool and is really dear to my heart, guys, and I think you should give it a try. Like I said, the animation is really good. It aged really good, guys, so I think you should take a look at this. This anime, I believe, is in sub, and I think is in dub. When I first watched it, it was in sub, and I was okay with that. Nowadays, I watch a lot of animes in dub because I don't have time to sit down and watch animes in sub like I used to. But I'm thinking about finding some animes that are only in sub that I'll watch. Pretty much that it depends on the anime, guys. I guess I'll have to do my homework on it because I'm doing so much. I don't have time to sit down and do that because I want to watch anime and I want to do whatever I'm doing right here, guys. But anyway, we're gonna get on to the next pick. My number 4, Ronin Warriors. Okay, now I'm gonna break down some of the story plot for you guys so you guys can follow along. Okay, a millennium ago, a demon named Talpa conquered the mortal world. His reign of terror was unstopped until the appearance of a warrior mage and his loyal white tiger. The warrior defeated Talpa and saved the mortal world from doom. But the mage knew that an evil power like Talpa's could not truly be destroyed. Thus, to split the remains of Talpa's evil armor into 9 separate armors, imbuing each with a special virtue. The mage gave them to nine families for safekeeping. 600 years later, the defeated exiled Talpa returned and began to search for the armors. He was able to get a few weak-minded of the armored warriors, which left 5 of the legendary armors in the hands of young selected warriors who have the power to stop the evil Talpa who took over Japan. The Ronin Warriors will save the city, or will he not? Now, I seen this anime as a little kid, and this anime came on, I think it was UPN 57, and then it went to Toonami. And I was fascinated about these characters because each of these characters are from different families. That's one, but also at the same time they were, subjugated from the whole entire world, just getting training for years. And I believe they only met each other a few times as kids before they separated, so they can know who each other are. So when they come together, they can stop the evil Talpa. Now, each character had a particular power. You had Ryo, and I believe Ryo was the armor of fire. But also later on down the line, he gets the armor of wildfire, which is all the armors combined together to get this white armor that has like these dope behind dark blue like parts on them. Then you got wisdom. Wisdom was the color was green, but also it dealt with electricity. And then I believe you got Stratos. Stratos, I believe, is like some type of lunar type of power and whatnot, and that uses like arrows and stuff. And then you got the armor of Hard Rock, which that armor pretty much uses like a pole arm, like kind of like got like these 2 like big rock things at the end of it. And then you got Justice, which Justice I believe is the baby blue armor, and he used the Tarrant. And then you got the other one where, well, I'm not even gonna name the evil ones and stuff like that because those, I didn't really like those armors that much. But all these particular heroes came together to stop him. Talpa takes over Japan. People are running in fear. Some people are captive in the city of Japan. I mean, in the nation of Japan. Some people are captive. And the thing is, the military try to go in there and try to stop Talpa, but they're dealing with a supernatural being that's just impervious to bullets. It kind of almost reminds me of the game Shinobi for the PS2, the remake, where the villain comes to the world, and pretty much he starts destroying the whole entire city of Japan and stuff. And these demons at the same time are taking over vehicles like helicopters and all different types of stuff. And by them taking over these helicopters, they're transforming the looks of them and stuff. And Talpa is pretty much almost doing the same similar thing within his anime. So the Ronin Warriors come across this little boy who basically needs help. His family was kidnapped and taken from him, and he come across this girl and whatnot. So Ryo first shows up to the scene first, and he's being attacked, and he basically decimates some of the guys. Now, he didn't summon his armor. They always had these body armor that almost look like the Power Ranger armor until they summon their armors to stop these villains, guys. This anime is high, fast action, samurai battles, guys. And I have to say, this anime is really, really good, and especially for its time. And I do believe they were about to come out with a remake of like years after that, but it never got started. And I was kind of disappointed that nobody has decided to remake this anime. This anime was really good. The anime had love, the anime had friendship, and it was just total bromance in this anime, guys. Total bromance. And also at the same time too, this anime had a life and death situation, guys. And this anime is just like, phenomenal, and I suggest anybody check this out. Now, it's a little ashy, but you can watch the HD remix to this thing, so I suggest you guys check this anime out, guys. You're indoors, why not check out an old school anime, guys, that's just really, really, really dope. All right, we're going to get on to my next pick. My number 3 is D.Gray-man. In the alternate 19th century, it tells the story of a young Alan Walker who joins an organization of exorcists named the Black Order. They use an ancient substance called innocence to combat a man known as the Million Earl and his demonic army of Akuma, who intends to destroy humanity. Now, this anime is about, I'm going to say, 8 seasons long. This anime is really, really dark tone. It has some silly parts in it, but this anime is totally serious from the beginning all the way to the end. And you follow Alan Walker, who's pretty much an orphan child, if you want to call him that. He's an orphan child. He was raised by this one particular guy that you will never see again. And it's so sad that he lost this particular person, because this person basically raised him as their own and gave him a last name. This kid was just alone in the world by himself, but he was special. He has basically an innocence connected to his body part. It took over his arm. Okay, so this innocence can turn into this big gray claw. It can turn into a gun, and it turns into a various of different types of weapons, guys. And also, he has a nice little sweet ability where he can be able to sense Akumas. He can be able to sense people that are possessed. This anime is a possession type of anime. It's a demonic type of anime, but at the same time, it has God in this anime as well. So they're relying on God's power, God's will, in order to stop these demons. Now, you'll get close to a lot of different characters that Alan will join on his adventures, and also you'll get attached to characters that are just basic humans that don't have any powers, and you'll basically fall in love with those characters too, and you'll see the end of these characters. Now, he has friends named Linolee, he has Crow, and he has this one guy that's like pretty much like Sasuke, and you'll see these characters connect throughout the anime. But also Alan meets these other characters that join his side too, and they've also formed their own groups as well, and they also meet together when it comes down to certain cases. Now, they're following the Million Earl's path to stop certain Akuma that are destroying certain people, are taking over people and decimating villages and towns. But also they're trying to keep this on the down low, within the world at the same time. But it's a little bit hard trying to keep this on the down low when you got cities being destroyed and people are basically coming up with like description of what these things are. They're saying, oh, well, these things are monsters, they're this and that. I mean, yeah, they're all monsters, but at the same time, they're supernatural creatures, and they feed off of human flesh, they feed off of human souls, and the more and more these creatures eat, the more and more they level up like monsters off of RPG, guys. And as Alan and his friends kill more and more of these demons, their weapons evolve in certain interesting ways, guys. And I don't want to give too much of this anime away, guys, because this anime is just so it's just so amazing. Now, this anime has a long history in the manga, and I believe it did continue the manga and it ended, but the anime stopped at a real crucial part, I think within the 8th or 9th season, and they left you dry for years. And I was surely disappointed until they came out with D.Gray-man Hollow, and I watched that. It was only particularly one season, but it gave you background to one of the main characters within the story. But this anime had blood, destruction, everything, guys. So you're not left out of the dark if you want to continue watching this anime after that climactic last season's cliffhanger, guys. You can check that. You can check D.Gray-man Hollow out to continue. Now, that is a late 2000 anime, guys, so I just figured I'll put both of those together because it's a continuation, guys. You will not be disappointed in this anime. However, what you will be disappointed about, we have not heard any news about the next anime ever since that anime dropped, guys, and I was disappointed about that. But it did give us some more insight on more of the characters, guys, and you'll see what happens to Alan and his friends in this cool adventure. This anime, I believe, in the beginning few seasons, it is in English, but also you can watch it in sub, and I believe the new season Hollow is in English, guys, so you can enjoy that as well. All right, let's get on to the next pick. Number 2, Kiba. All right, now Kiba's about Zed, a 15-year-old boy who lives in a city called Kam. Is frustrated he's frustrated by his current situation in life. He feels that somewhere out there is a place where he can live more fully. One day, at the intervention of a mysterious wind, he dives into the space-time converse portal, seeking the answers that might be there. Riding on the wind, he is transported to a war-torn world where magic users called shardcasters fight endlessly with each other using spells in the form of marble-like shards. He is transported to a country known as Templar. Now, this anime is just like an RPG to me. The main character is transported from a futuristic world all the way to this world that's kind of almost like medieval times, but like a fantasy medieval world. And he pretty much gets upon in this town, and the thing on his arm reveals itself. And come to find out, this main character is from this world. That's the amazing part about this anime. He always felt as though that he basically didn't belong from the world that he was in. So when he got to this world, he started seeing all these different things. He started seeing all the things he can do, and it just pretty much amazed him. But he wanted to find out where he came from within this world. He wanted to find out why was he taken from this world, and he wanted to basically to seek out answers, guys. And by him seeking out answers, he winds up summoning his first summon within this world, a spirit. And I think it's named Tumbas. I think that's the name of it. But he also encounters other different summons that he'll get a part of his arsenal. He gets a plasma sword, he gets magic, and he learns from this other particular shard user that basically trains him. And then he meets this nice little cute girl along the way that joins his side like an RPG. And he's joined by this other particular character that all these women just love, and they pretty much go off on somewhat of a journey and somewhat of some various different missions as well, guys. And this anime is pretty much nothing high speed about this anime. It's a little slow in the beginning, but then it starts to pick up, and then you start to find out why this world is torn the way it is, and you'll start to find all these different race people within this world as well, and find out the secrets of this character, and find out the secrets of his shard beast within his hand, guys. Now, I can't say too much about this anime because I don't want to give it away for you guys. So that was just a small summary of it, guys. You will love this anime. You will love the soundtrack to this anime. I first watched this anime when I was in college, I believe. But also this anime has, when I first started watching it, has subbed. Now, I think you can watch it in dub too. Don't quote me on it. I think I did go back to it because I didn't finish it when I was in college because the episodes was taking too long to come out. I went back and watched all of it years ago, and I just love the end part of this anime, guys. It leaves you with a lot of questions, but we're gonna head on to the next number, guys. All right, and my number one, Sailor Moon. All right, and was it Juben Tokyo, a middle school student named Tsuki, best friend Luna, a talking black cat who gives her magical brooch, enabling her to transform into Sailor Moon, a soldier destined to save the earth from forces of evil. Luna and Usagi, I think I'm saying her name right. I know her as basically Sabrina from the English version. Okay, so she assembles a team of fellow Sailor soldiers to find their princess in the Silver Crystal. They encounter the studious Amy, who awakens a Sailor Mercury, Rihina, a local Shina, a shrine maiden who awakens as Sailor Mars, Makoto, a tall and strong transfer student who awakens as Sailor Jupiter, and Mikoto Ina, a young aspiring idol who had awakened as Sailor Venus. And a few months prior, accompanied by her talking feline companion was Artemis. Accidentally, they best friend was a Chiba, a high school student who assisted them on occasion as Tuxedo Mask. Now, I watched this anime in English as a kid. This came on during the time of the Ronin Warriors. It was on UPN 57, then it moved to Cartoon Network where it had Toonami, guys. Now, I didn't know how serious this anime was because it seemed kind of silly, and when they get into the fights, they get a little bit serious, guys. And seeing the character development of these characters, I didn't understand it as a kid. But when I got older, I went back and watched it. I was like, wow, this thing actually has substance to it. This thing is actually serious. These girls are actually in a life or death situation. Some of these characters almost died. and then finding the backstory to these characters, like their past before it goes all the way up into the future of the current time of the anime. I'm like, wow. So these are what these characters were before the future. So they're basically, I guess, like reincarnations of themselves and stuff like that. And they were on the moon, I believe, not Earth. So basically, I guess they had to re-go through all these different events in order to achieve their powers and who they were before, guys. This anime literally is, I guess, like a action / romance type of anime, guys. And the females on this anime and their costumes are really, really cool, guys. Now, I know you're like, well, he's a guy and he's watching this anime. You're like, oh no, this guy's watching girl anime. No, it's really, really nice, guys. I think you should take a look at it. Put your girlfriend on to our review. I want to watch it together. This anime is really, really nice. Do I have a particular favorite? Who I think is the sexiest on the team? Apparently, I think Mars is. Mars is the sexiest on the team. And green, since green is my favorite color, Jupiter is one of my characters too that I like. But also she's this tomboy, and I think she has like some particular type of cuteness to her. And she's tall and she's strong. The taller you are, as I always say, more. Anyway, this anime also had a remake to it, Sun Moon Crystal. Now, for you guys that don't want to go back and watch the old Ashy version of this anime or the HD version, you can watch Crystal. I'm not sure how many seasons Crystal has, but I did watch it and I found it very, very entertaining. I didn't get to the end yet. I'm going to go back and finish that anime. But also, if you guys want to watch the live action, which I found really interesting, you guys can check that out too. That's mainly subs. This anime is sub and dubbed, so you guys can jump into it. Now, the Crystal one, I don't think it's dubbed, but I can check later on, guys. Well, guys, that about does it. I hope you guys enjoyed the first part of my list, guys, and I'm going to be doing the next part like real soon. I'll probably drop that maybe in like another few days or probably the next week. We all know that Final Fantasy is going to be coming out, so we got to make sure to be timely when it comes down to what content to release, because I'm going to be definitely feeding on that. Don't forget the bell button, the subscribe button to get notifications to my channel, guys. All right, I'll check you guys out next time. This is Killlancer, and we got more.